Hello all, welcome back to testingtools.co, and in this Selenium series of videos, we have so far seen how to launch a browser in both traditional way and also in the better approach, right? So when we go ahead in this series of videos, I would like to also tell you that how we actually deal when we work in real-time projects, right? The most important thing is people develop a framework. So I will not be covering what a framework is right now, but I can start pushing in small points of the framework in the across the videos so that you will learn along with Selenium itself. Okay, so what we will see in this particular video is how you can create a reusable function which can launch any browser. In the previous videos, we have seen how to launch a particular browser, but how we can make it as a reusable function. And why do we need a reusable function here? Because I have hundreds and thousands of test automation scripts, and in each of these test automation scripts, I want to launch a browser, navigate to a particular URL. So in order to perform that activity, we need to write this piece of code every time, right? But if you keep on writing the same piece of code in all the scripts, like for example, let me show you. So here we have seen that we have to write these 4 to 5 lines of code so that the browser is launched. Now in these hundreds and thousands of scripts, if you have to keep on writing these 4 lines of code and develop the automation scripts, it is not a good approach. Because let me tell you, if at any point of time I want to make a small change in this code, these 4 lines of code has been replicated in hundreds and thousands of scripts, and you have to go and update all these files in all these test automation scripts. So that is the reason why we always look at writing reusable libraries. Okay, now we will see in this video how to do that. So for that, what we do is we will first create a Java package called library. So right click and click on new package. So here I can give something called library. Now in this package, I will create a new class. So for this class, I will give a name called browser and then click on finish. So now if you see here, it has created a new class called browser in the package library. Okay. Now in this particular browser class, we will write a method which will basically help us to create an object for driver and then launch any browser based on the URL given to it. Okay. So as we know, we can directly copy paste that code. First we will create a function public void init. Okay, with this particular part of code, basically we have created an object for driver based on Chrome driver. Okay, we will also move these two different lines of code into two different functions and then we will reuse them. Okay, let me just first create those functions and then I will explain. Public void navigate to string URL. Public void close. Okay, so I have created two methods here. One is public void navigate to, which takes an input parameter called URL, and there is another method created called close. Now, if you see here, there is a red line for the driver object. Now, I would request you to pause for a couple of seconds and think why this particular error is coming. Okay, fine. The issue is in this init method, we have created the driver object. But whenever you are creating a variable or an object inside a particular method, the place where you can access that particular object is within that method only, right? So if you want a particular data member which you want to access across the functions in the class, so you have to declare that as a class member. So instead of declaring it in init method, declare it in the class. Now if you see here what happened, the scope of the driver object has been changed from just init method to entire class. So earlier driver was accessible only inside this particular method. Now because driver has been moved to the class level, in all the methods you can access this driver. And now if you go down and see, there are no more errors. Okay. Now there is one more change that you have to do here. Here what we have done is we have hard coded this particular URL to where it has to navigate. Now instead of that, we have given an input parameter here, string URL. So whatever URL you are giving, that should be the place where the browser should go. So instead of the hard coded value, we will put the URL. So what did we do so far? Whatever code that has been there in demo test.java, we have moved it into another class as a reusable thing, so that in multiple test cases or multiple test automation scripts, you can directly call that class and then do the required functions. Now I am pressing Ctrl Shift O so that all the things will go away which are not required, the import statements especially. Now that we have created a class, we will create an object for this class and then we will use that in the demo test. Okay. So now what I will do, I will say browser is equal to new browser. You can press Ctrl Shift O so that the statement comes properly. Now I can say browser.init. So init is the place where you are basically initializing the driver to Chrome. If you go here, you see here we have put WebDriver Chrome driver.setup, and then a Chrome driver object has been assigned to driver. So what we have done here, we have created an object and then call that method so that it gets initialized to a particular driver. Now I can say browser.navigate to, and then I can give and then finally I can call the close also. So let's execute this quickly and then see if it is working or not. Okay, it started the browser. Now it is trying to navigate to the URL you have passed. And once it is loaded completely, it will close. See, the output of this particular code is same as what has been done in the previous videos. But only thing is we have created a reusable function or a reusable class that you can use it in your individual test automation scripts. Now, we also said that we will write this code in such a way that it can be used for any browser, right? So what I will do here, I will again go to browser. Here I will write a method overloading function. So what is method overloading? It will have the same function name, but the input parameters or maybe the return type, these might change. Okay. So here I am going to say public void init string browser type. So here what we will do is we will see what kind of browser are we sending, and based on that we will launch that particular browser through code. So what happens by this is, even you can pass a parameter as on which web browser you want to execute your test automation script. So here I can write a simple if condition, if browser type dot equals ignore case Now similarly I will write for another browser. Here I will give Firefox, and for Firefox we have to write Gecko driver or Firefox driver. It is Firefox driver, correct, Firefox driver. Now if I want something else like IE, okay, so like this you can write multiple conditions, like for Opera, for Chromium, for other browsers you can also add more if conditions, and based on whatever you are passing as input parameter, that particular browser will get launched automatically. And also here we have to add one more code, driver is equal to new, as this is a Chrome driver we will say Chrome driver. Here you will say Firefox driver. And here you will say okay. So what are we doing here? We are writing a small condition here. Based on whatever you are passing as input parameter as the browser type, it will first set up the browser required, the driver files. It is done automatically by WebDriver Manager. And then you will also create an object for driver based on whatever browser type we have passed. Okay. Now, so if you see here, we have written this code here. Instead of this, you can do another way. So by default, if nobody is passing a input parameter to init method, I want to take it as Chrome. So what I will do, I will just call the same init method and then I will say Chrome. That's all. So if you go to your demo test and you don't change any piece of code and then you run, you will observe that it will launch the Chrome browser by default, because in init method we are calling the overloaded init method for which Chrome has been passed as an input parameter. So Chrome goes in and then the condition will pass and then that particular driver will get initialized. So let us just execute and see. So the Chrome browser has been launched because we didn't pass any browser type, and it has launched the default browser, which is Chrome. And then it is navigating to the particular URL and then it will close automatically. Okay. Now I said that this is a reusable function. So let us give Firefox as input and see whether the Firefox is getting launched and then it is navigating or not. So for that, what you have to do, you have to pass the parameter as Firefox. So now if I execute this method, it will go into this particular method. So it is calling the method with input as browser type, and then it will check in the condition whether it is Chrome or Firefox, and then it sets the driver accordingly. Okay, let us execute and check now. So if you see here, we are not worrying about you have to download a particular binary file or the exe file as we have done for Chrome driver. The WebDriver Manager itself will take care of understanding what is the Firefox version you have, and then it downloads the respective driver file and then it launches automatically. So it launched the Firefox driver and it also trying to navigate to that particular URL that we have passed. So if you see here how beautiful it is, you had to just write a simple reusable method where you pass input type as what is the browser type, and then we wrote the code in such a way that it takes care automatically. So this is how reusable methods are written in such a way that you can use them in different locations of your entire project, that is in each test automation project, and it will help you to easily maintain the code. And even if you have to make any changes, for example, if I want to add another browser, right, I have to just go into this particular method and then update this method, and this particular method is used everywhere in all your test automation scripts, and it becomes easy for you to change as which browser you want to launch with. I hope you are feeling that this content is valuable. If so, I would request you to hit on the like button, subscribe button and the bell icon so that you will not miss any future videos that we are trying to publish on Selenium. Thank you and stay tuned.